afternoon, everybody. How you guys doing?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey,
So, you guys are in Mexico City?
That is correct.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh, thank you for joining us tonight. We're in the lovely town of Burleson, Texas. Some of you guys might not know this, but this is actually where I was born. I was born and raised in Burleson, Texas. It's a little town just about 10 minutes south of Fort Worth, the wonderful cow town. So welcome to Fort Worth, Texas, guys from Mexico. It's great to see you. I'm glad you were able to join us tonight.
Likewise, thank you for having us.
You're very welcome.
Who do we have on your end? Y'all introduce yourselves.
So I'll start over here. I'm Jamie. I'm the co-founder of Casa 1910. Over here we got Manolo.
Manolo Santiago, blender of Casa 1910 and co-founder for Casa 1910.
And I'm Serge. I'm also a co-founder of Casa 1910.
Great, great. My name's Richard Richardson. I work for Foretravel Motor Coach out of Nacogdoches, Texas. And we build one of the premier motor coaches in the world. And we have dealer relationships in Alvarado, Texas with Motorhome Specialist, MHS. And so we have designed a humidor that we're displaying. It's kind of the rollout for this product for us in partnership with Casa 1910. We actually worked with you guys at the TPE show in January and had a really nice event there. But just want to say welcome to you guys. Welcome to Texas.
And I'm Scott Lewis. I am the regional salesperson for this product. Me and my team are in charge of making sure that everybody in this area gets an opportunity to try the beauty and the luxury that is Casa 1910 cigars. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you our host tonight and the person who put this dream together at Wilde Cigars. This is Chris Noteboom.
Yeah, hi, I'm Chris Noteboom, one of the owners of Wilde Cigars here in Burleson, Texas. We are a cigar bar, full bar, craft cocktails, whiskey, wine, liquor, 320 square foot humidor, large lounge, large private lounge. A lot of fun down here.
It's a beautiful place.
Thank you, thank you.
Place.
Oh, what a beautiful place. I'm really, really honored to have a part in your humidor. We're absolutely thrilled to have an opportunity to display the Foremidor here. And more importantly, for me anyway, is to have Casa 1910 as a launch point here, because this is a great shop to premiere this product because you guys really understand quality cigars. So we're really proud to be a partner with you.
Thank you.
Y'all are brand new.
We're brand new. We've been open just under 3 months. And so we feel incredibly lucky to have the opportunity to bring a brand like Casa 1910 into this market. So far, because we're young, because we're still learning our audience, we've actually been very selective about bringing in new things because we're still learning their palates and we're still trying to figure out what's going to work here. But the second I had the chance to try the Casa 1910, I was blown away by it. It's just such a phenomenal cigar. You can just taste how the care that goes into making it. And so we knew we had to have it. We knew that this is something that it's going to sell itself as soon as people try it. It's just such a tremendous cigar. So we're feel very lucky, and we're very honored to have Foretravel here too, because these Foremidors are that's next level. That is truly something I think you're going to start to see all over the place. So we just feel very fortunate, and thank y'all for being here, and thank you guys, Jamie and Serge and Manolo, for joining us tonight.
Thank you
Jamie,
for having us.
Jamie, can you talk to us about your product and about the regions you grow your tobacco in and all the things us novice cigar smokers need to know about your cigars?
Absolutely. So currently we have one facing. It's a Robusto format cigar. This cigar right here is made of 100% Mexican tobacco, and it all comes from the San Andres region, or the San Andres Valley of the state of Veracruz in Mexico, which, if you put it on a map, is above the Yucatan Peninsula. So it's in the Gulf. You have very fertile soil. It's volcanic. It is close to the ocean. You have ideal conditions to grow tobacco. And what we really set out to do with our first release is to show to the world what it means to produce a truly high quality cigar with using 100% Mexican tobacco. Now, this is our first release. In the future, we will be working with blends from different regions of the world. But again, we try to set out by showing the world and showcasing to the world what it means to produce a truly great Mexican puro.
What made you decide to choose Mexico as your launch point? You know, there's a lot of famous cigars that come out of Nicaragua, the Dominican Republic, Honduras, and you guys could have gone there. You have the resources. What made you guys decide Mexico as your launch point?
Well, on the one end, it's definitely a personal thing where for myself, I've been living here since the past 4 years. Serge has been spending the past 6 years here in Mexico, and Manolo grew up here. And we strongly believe that after having studied the cigar market, there's so much potential purely from the culture that Mexico has to offer to the world, whether it be the Netflix series, the tequila hype that's been going on, and all of the other artisanally produced goods from Mexico. And we feel like there's a bit of a misconception about Mexican tobacco in general. The people we've spoken to and sort of the feedback we've seen from the industry is they still are a bit unsure of Mexican puros as such, but are indeed very familiar with Mexican tobacco, namely the San Andres. And that's precisely what we try to change about the industry. We want to be a truly authentic Mexican brand using authentic Mexican products, some of them, especially on the cigar front, and especially with this first release being 100% Mexican tobacco, but of course also with our lifestyle or accessory part of the business, where we have a range of different products, all of them, especially on the ashtray side, handmade, hand-painted from different regions of Mexico, and everything we do is really truly authentically Mexican.
I don't detect a Mexican accent there from you, Jamie. Can you tell us about y'all's background?
You detect the Swiss one at best, and I think that goes the same goes for Serge. But Manolo over here, he's the true connoisseur, and he's really the most valuable player in our company. He's the one that sort of where the idea was originated. He's always been trying to do his own company and his own brand and his own cigars. And like us having joined forces, we have a lot of synergies all together. I think combined we make for a very solid team. And with Manolo's expertise of the tobacco industry, we've produced, in our opinion, and I'll let you guys and especially your customers be the judge, but a very good Mexican puro.
So, talking about Manolo, one of the things that attracted me to your company when you and I first were introduced was Manolo's background. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, all my life, for 18 years old, I discovered a lot of products about the spirits, about the cigars, about the tobacco leaves, all tobacco products, snuffing tobacco, pipes, and cigarettes. It's awful, by the way, on the cigars. And I'm studying for a different kind of techniques for wine industry, actually sommelier wine, whiskey specialist, Cuban rum, Caribbean rum, and actually mixology. I'm studying in Cuba for Master Habano Sommelier, and a few time ago, I'm studying Master Cigar Sommelier. I go to some countries when produce tobacco leaf, cigars, and other stuff, and I take a lot of knowledge for amazing masters for me. And I love this product. I love the tobacco leaves. I love all around this world. And I think I know a little bit, just a little bit. It's just the beginning for my travel, for my journey in this business. And every people knows when I tell every cigar it's different. Every country is different. Every leaf, every year actually it's very different. Never you're gonna have all the knowledge. It's amazing. It's a beautiful business. It's a beautiful world, and I love in this business.
Gotcha. So, Jamie, let me ask you a question. I know that there are a lot of people that claim to be blenders in this industry, and they claim to be rollers. And you and I've spoken before about Manolo and some of the unique qualifications that he has that nobody else has. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Manolo's a very special character in that anything that it has to do with his palate comes very natural to him. As he mentioned, whether it be wine, tequila, other spirits such as rum, but also obviously on the cigar side, he has a very sophisticated palate. He sort of grew up around it and was always fascinated by pairings, by tastings, and he's truly an expert. And I think it's very fair to give him that he's a true expert of anything that comes to tasting. And he's a perfect fit for the company. And as mentioned, he always wanted to do his own cigar brand. And I think merging together and spending a lot of time in Veracruz, sourcing different tobacco, working with different producers and finding sort of the best fit for a company, especially over the past 1.5 years, was a huge learning curve. And again, as Manolo said, we're here to learn, and we're here to conquer the Mexican cigar industry and put Mexico on the map in terms of premium cigars.
So one of the things that I've learned about Mexican cigars and blenders is, there's a lot of blenders out there, but Manolo is a tobacco sommelier. Is that true?
Yeah, that is
So-
correct.
So
Yeah.
he has the Master Habanos sommelier certification from Habanos S.A., so from the Cuban cigar conglomerate.
Wow.
As well as being a master sommelier from IACS,
That's pretty
which
impressive.
is the International Association of Cigar Sommeliers, along with other certifications that Jamie ventured in upon, which is whiskey expert, I think.
Tequila, whiskey, red wine, mixologist, and other stuff.
All the finer things in life, he's an expert of.
Sounds like a nice hobby.
So are there a lot of people that have those certifications, or is that unique to Manolo?
I think the Master Habanos sommelier from Habanos, I don't know how many people in the world have it, you know best, Manolo.
Well, it's around 60 Master Habano Sommelier and Master Cigar Sommelier, other 50 persons.
So there's not very many at all.
No.
No.
And especially here in Mexico, Manolo's truly one of a kind. There's no one like him here in terms of the experience and the knowledge.
Well,
that
I
he
have
has.
to say, Jamie, you guys are very lucky to have somebody with those qualifications blending the cigars, and you can tell by the smoke, and you can tell by the blend, and more importantly, you can tell by the taste that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. And this is just the beginning for us. I mean, as mentioned, we have one facing as of now, but our aim and part of what Manolo has been working on the past few months is sourcing high quality tobacco from other regions of the world. And our goal is, or what we're working on currently, is that we're going to be releasing 4 new cigars to market.
Oh, that's awesome.
Different vitolas, and they're all going to be released for the first time at the PCA in July.
Oh, yes.
So there's really a lot to
Wow.
look forward to, and of course our goal in the future is to keep on evolving as a brand and keep on achieving the highest quality standards, both in terms of the construction, but also of course in terms of the quality and the flavor profiles of the cigar.
Coming soon, guys.
Oh, that's awesome. So let me ask you a question. When you decided that this was going to be the first cigar that premieres on the market, your showpiece, the one that sets the bar for the brand, what was your thought process? What made you decide to go with this blend specifically?
Well, about the shape, the format, it's a Robusto shaped cigar. It's my special one. It's my favorite format for all cigars. It's amazing because we have a evolution here. We have a lot of tobacco. We have amazing hour of 50 minutes for smoke. It's amazing for me. But about the blend, I need to medium profile. I need to creamy. I need to sweet, but a little bit of complexity. I need different type of aromas. I need to different type of tobacco, Mexican tobacco cigar. It's it's an amazing
Yeah,
it's an amazing result for us.
And I think what really sets us apart, or especially a cigar, is that we give it 5 years of aging, the tobacco, prior to being rolled. And after having been rolled, we give it religiously an additional 6 months of aging. And that really makes the difference for us. We've done a lot of tastings, we've done a lot of different blends and tried out a lot of different cigars, but that extra 6 months of aging takes away the acidity, which you typically find in
The
Mexican
ammonia
cigars.
and the humidity and others.
Yeah, and it makes it a really smooth, creamy smoke, as you guys probably can tell.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that absolutely amazes me about the cigar is I have never smoked a quality San Andres Sumatra. Everybody knows about San Andres Maduros, and there's a lot of brands out there that are using San Andres Maduros, but a San Andres Sumatra, what a tasty piece of art this is to smoke.
It's outstanding, yeah.
Yeah, and that's just another one of the many things which we do, trying to go against the stream, is using the Sumatra wrapper. And also just in terms of our marketing activities, I mean, everything you see from us is really quality driven and attention to detail. The boxes, you cannot imagine how many hours we've invested into the logo design. And the same counts for a magazine, for the accessories. So everything we do is really try to go against the sort of the mainstream of what you see in the market and differentiate ourselves, be something new, a breath of fresh air, especially coming from Mexico, and leaving our mark in the industry.
If you could describe for me one thing that the company Casa 1910 is trying to achieve in the market. I know you guys want to put Mexico on the map as a premium cigar manufacturer. Long term, what is the big vision that Casa 1910 has?
Well, if I may answer that, apart from putting Mexico on the map in terms of with tobacco and cigars, and coming out with blends where we mix Mexican tobacco with tobacco from other countries and create award-winning blends, I think we want to be one of the most, or the most, internationally recognized luxury consumer brand from Mexico. That's really our goal, and position our brand and our orange boxes in all the best cigar lounges and retailers in America, as well as across the world, whether it be in Europe or in Asia, and come out with more and more accessories that smokers will appreciate and like, and which are 100% made in Mexico from artisans all over the country, whether it be ashtrays, guayaberas, overshirts that we have created with cigar holders in it, and more accessories to come in the future. So that we are an all-round luxury consumer brand revolving around the Mexican history and heritage and the cigar lifestyle.
And I just want to touch upon a point which Serge mentioned with regards to artisans in this country. There's so many unbelievably beautiful products which come from Mexico. And something we've noticed with the tequila industry, for example, is that there's a lot of American celebrity-owned tequila companies which exclusively sell their tequila in the United States and pay very little sort of homage to Mexico and everything that it stands for and its artisans. And that's something which we're trying to change with time as well. We want to give back to the people who make up the beautiful culture of this country. We want to develop the area of San Andres, increase the quality of tobacco which comes from that region, and yeah, really just supporting locals that make Mexico what it is.
You know, one of the things that I absolutely love about this cigar is there's a lot of cigars on the market that you smoke one and you're done for the day. The one thing that I love about a Casa 1910 is after I finish a cigar, it has such great flavor and it doesn't overwhelm my palate, and I can immediately smoke another one. So, but I want to ask you a question, Richard. So,
Just on that point real quick, we have the best single-hand experience in terms of smoking our cigar, especially at the trade shows where our one facing is rather limiting and we have to smoke up to 15 of our cigars a day and we don't get tired of it. So I think that's definitely, that speaks for the quality and also the blend of the cigar.
No doubt.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm smoking another one right now. So let me ask you a question, Richard. As the person who designed the humidor for Foretravel, what made you guys decide that you wanted to partner with Casa 1910?
Well, I think there's an opportunity for two relatively new groups to come together here with two different products. The product that we're developing, Scott has a lot to do with this. I don't know if he realizes that, but the relationship that we've had over the last 6 years and the common hobby that we have, singing, and my wife Cindy's involvement as a distributor for Scott's brands, and just the relationship I have with the great company that I work for in Foretravel Motor Coach. We're a builder of premier motor coaches, mostly Class A. We work with RV retailers, a growing organization that is acquiring several dealerships around the country these days. And RV1 is one of the companies that works with us as well, selling our motor coaches out of Florida, and Motorhome Specialist, just south of us in Alvarado, is the largest RV dealer in the world.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to give a little tribute to those guys for the work that they do with us on the motor coach side of things. But my CEO, Lyle Reed, has given us the breadth, I guess, of vision, and is fully behind what we're doing with the development of the humidors. And the humidors are based on our slide out rooms, or our motor coaches, and the aluminum extrusions that we used to build those slide out rooms was, a key component to what we're doing with the humidors. So the humidors are a laminated product with an aluminum frame, fiberglass exterior, aluminum extrusions, which gives us a really lightweight product. And the exterior is a 1/4-inch fiberglass panel that we laminate there at Foretravel. And we just invested in a new laminating machine, and we're not utilizing its full capacity. And so Lyle said, hey, let's go develop a new product here that we can use this machinery for. And so Cindy and I were sitting out by our swimming pool one day, and she said, you should develop a humidor based on this slide out room concept. I think it would go great. So I got to give full credit to that ideation to Cindy. And so we took that idea and ran with it, and it created a large humidor concept that is incorporates all the RV technology that we have. And so we built a waterproof, airtight humidor environment that would be great for residential use or commercial use in a shop like yours. Mm-hmm. So that we could display this product. And we had a competition at Nacogdoches Cigar Company where we rolled out our first product about 2 months ago, and they were able to put 1,284 cigars in this humidor.
That's awesome.
And we showcased this at TPE in January.
The trade show.
Yes, with Casa 1910 as our partners in this venture. And we didn't know how that was going to go, but it turned out to be a great venture, and we sold our first humidor there with their product displayed in the humidor. It's taken off in there. So we have our 3rd and 4th humidor here at Wilde this weekend, and welcome everybody to come out and see it, of course. And we'll be at the show Saturday displaying our new Dallas Cowboy imaged.
It's not Dallas Cowboy, but it's got some similar colors.
It has some colors
Right.
and things like that. Yeah,
Right.
they're similar to the Dallas Cowboy.
But why Casa 1910? I mean, I have, there are several brands that were willing to partner with you. Why did you choose 1910?
That was your original question, I believe. And
I think it was.
Well, maybe it's because they agreed to partner with us. I don't know, but through our relationship with Scott, he said, "Hey, I've got a great idea for a partner for us," and it's just been great. We had a blast at TPE with you guys, and I think that was very successful.
Well, I think one of the key things is that you have a luxury humidor product. This isn't a product that is shipped from China. This is made in the USA. More importantly to us, it's made in Texas.
Sure.
And if you, there's an old saying that don't ever ask a guy if he's from Texas, because if he is, he'll tell you. And if he's not, you don't want to embarrass him. And so this is a USA-made product, made in Nacogdoches, Texas. It's a luxury product. This is not a product for everybody. Right. This is a product for people that enjoy a luxury product and enjoy high quality. And based on what you told me, Casa 1910 was a perfect partner, because that's what we're trying to achieve as well.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that, Jamie?
I 100% agree with that. And touching upon the topic of luxury and premiumness, I wanted to ask what type of shirt you're wearing, because that is one fine shirt.
Oh man,
Right?
I was really fortunate. These guys sent me this cigar smoking over shirt. It's kind of a guayabera. It's got the 4 pockets. But let me tell you what's really cool about this shirt. Right here, where I'm tapping right here, there is a spot for 3 different cigars, so that when I walk around, I can have not just today's blend of Casa 1910, but when Manolo and the guys release the next blends, I can have one in each little slot, because it's designed specifically for cigars, and that's pretty awesome.
And we'll formalize this partnership when I receive my smoking shirt.
That's 3 of us here.
But,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. It's a beautiful
We
shirt.
all need 'em.
Linen, right?
Yes, it's linen and it's comfortable, and for whatever reason, it's cold in Texas right now, and it's keeping me beautifully warm and beautifully smokable. So I absolutely love it.
I think that's a good point, is talking about premiumness, is that Foretravel is a premium brand, and Casa 1910 is clearly a premium brand. And part of the reason we're so excited is that we are positioning ourselves as more of an upscale lounge, accessible to all, but definitely more on the upscale side. This is a place where you can come get a fine drink and not just your usual stuff. We've got a really large selection, and we feature several premium cigars, but that was one of the things that drew us to Casa 1910, was just the exceptional level of craft and care that goes into it that makes it a truly premium product. Where everyone kind of throws that term around these days. Everyone wants to say they're premium, they're quality, they're upscale. And it's one thing to say it and use the empty rhetoric. It's another one to deliver on that promise. And then that's something that stood out to me from the very first moment on both the Casa 1910 and the Foremidor. So I think 3 young products all growing together and bringing a premium offering to this industry, I think is a strong partnership.
So you guys at Casa 1910, one of the things that you thought that we should bring in to really highlight the cigars was this tequila that we've got right here. So tell me about the thought process in pairing tequilas with cigars.
Okay. I made this cigar for one goal, the perfect pairing with tequila. Okay. Actually, I'm for the land of tequila, Jalisco. Okay. I need the perfect pairing with cigar and tequila. For this cigar, I recommend, for the first part, tequila reposado. For the second part, tequila añejo. For the last part, extra añejo. If you have Reserva de la Familia Extra Añejo de José Cuervo, it's the best one. It's the best option for this cigar. No?
It is 100% the best one, and I think Scott had single-hand experience at our launch event last November, where the only tequila that we served was Reserva de la Familia Extra Añejo. And regardless of pairing or not, I think in Mexico as a whole, it is considered one of the best tequilas there is. And it is something that we take to all trade shows. So for all of the people that are going to participate at the next PCA, I urge you guys to come through to our booth and have a try of a truly unique Mexican cigar and a even uniquer Mexican tequila.
If you let me explain the perfect pairing, it's very easy to make. Take a big puff of this cigar, take for 3 seconds in the mouth the smoke, and after take a little sip of tequila, direct to the stomach, and take a breath, big breath with your mouth, and after with your nose.
Okay, so let's do this right now.
Maybe you can showcase it.
Chris and I, we just poured ourselves a little tequila. Richard
Big
is
puff
abstaining
of the cigar.
tonight. I'm sorry for you, my friend.
And we do have the Reserva de la Familia.
Okay, and we have the Reserva de Familia. I don't know if you can hear. Can you see it?
Nice. Cheers.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Absolutely. So tell me what the
Walk us
process
through
is
that
again,
again.
because I want to do this exactly right, because I want to get the best experience I can. So cigar first.
Okay, first step, a big puff of the cigar, take the smoke for 3 seconds in your mouth. And take a little sip of the tequila. direct
So
to
this
the
is
stomach.
not a shooting tequila. This is a sipping
No.
tequila.
Sip tequila.
Okay, here we go.
It is so
Direct
good.
to the stomach. Take air and breath with your mouth.
And feel free to repeat as many times as you like.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've got to be honest with you guys. You know, tequilas to me, you know, starting from my college days, tequilas are something that you mix with orange juice or you mix with something else,
Lime juice.
and you shoot it and you grimace because it's awful. This is not the tequila that I experienced. This is awesome. And I regret, Richard, that you're not partaking.
Don't twist my arm.
It's actually genuinely, when we spent time with the guys at the trade show and Serge poured us some of the extra añejo they had there,
Right.
that sparked something in me, and ever since we got back I've been deep diving, trying to learn more about tequila, because I agree, I think a lot of our experiences here in America is with a lower grade of product that is often used for shooting or just mixed in a margarita.
Right.
And the whole idea of if they share soil, they share flavors. Smoking a Mexican cigar, which I've been smoking a lot of 1910 since we got back,
I appreciate that.
has led me down the path of trying to further educate myself in tequila. So we've been sitting around here in the evenings pouring ourselves reposadas and añejos, just trying to improve our palates for tequila so that we can better offer pairings to go with cigars. And that was inspired directly by especially time I spent with Serge at the show. You know,
This is amazing.
I think what makes that tequila very unique in its taste is that it gets aged in whiskey barrels, and therefore you get those whiskey notes that are
tones, yeah.
truly unique and beautiful.
Sorry, for the Reserva La Familia Extrañejo, aged the tequila for 3 different types of barrels. American with a little light toast, American for the strong toast, and the French French wood with a light
French
Yeah.
burn inside. It's amazing the combination of 3 different types of wood, 3 different types of burn inside of the barrel. It's
Right.
amazing blend of tequila.
And honestly, the years of aging on that tequila in the barrels really make the difference. And you can see from the color how dark it is. It has this amber color. it's completely different from a tequila blanco you typically find in your average bar.
I was just going to say the same thing, that so many of us here in America, they're used to silvers, or even just the very light golden color of good Reposado or Añejo. This is, I mean, you pour it and it looks like what we would think of as like a whiskey, and that shows you the age. It shows you everything it got from that wood, and as you would imagine, that helps to blend the flavors in a much smoother way. And there's just so much going on, and it's so smooth, and it's just, yeah, you've heard about sipping tequila, but this is the ultimate example of it.
I didn't have any tequila at the trade show because typically when I'm working the trade show, I stay away from alcohol because I need to be able to function in public. So this is actually, I know you guys had a lot of it, but this is my first time trying this tequila. And
Since the launch event, Scott.
well, okay, the launch event was a blur for me. It was such an incredible event with such great things that you guys introduced me to while I was in Mexico. So sitting and just having one drink with one cigar. This tequila, I understand completely why you're pairing it with this cigar, because you know the cigars in here. Remind me again, how long has the tobacco been aged in a Casa 1910 cigar?
Yeah, so for the filler and binder, they've been aged for 5 years, and the wrapper has been aged for 3 years. And then we give
My
it an
goodness.
additional 6 to 8 months of aging after being rolled.
You know, there's a brand, I was talking to the sales rep of the brand, and I'm not going to mention the brand because it's irrelevant, but he asked the owner, he said, so how long do we age our cigars? And the guy said, well, how long was it on the UPS truck?
Right.
And our cigars having that amount of age, I can understand why this tequila pairs so well, because we have such fine aged tobaccos that create this cigar. And this tequila, I've never tasted anything like this except for at the launch event that I don't remember because I drank too much.
We all did.
But wow, what a great pairing this is.
And that's a good point. The people that don't know, 5 years is a very long time to age a leaf in cigars. That's on the upper echelon of,
Yes, it is.
of aging time. So that shows you the kind of craft and care that goes into a premium cigar. Is they have to actually spend a lot of time aging this leaf, and that's a lot of time where, you know, money's potentially sitting on a rack.
Huge investment.
But
sure.
you know, you do that in service of creating a better product, and you can taste every bit of it in this.
And that's what amazes me about the cigar is not only does it have the age on the wrapper, but it's using a wrapper that is not common.
Mm-hmm.
I know we mentioned this earlier, but everybody when they hear San Andres just assumes that it's going to be a Maduro.
Dark and, yeah, Maduro.
Because there's a lot of San Andres Maduro on the market, but San Andres Sumatra, oh my gosh, the flavor profile on this, I can smoke this every day multiple times a day.
It's the first thing I tell people when we're selling this is, you know, the San Andres, well, it's a Maduro, right? And I said, well, no, look at it first of all. I mean, it doesn't have the color of what you're thinking of, but not only that, but they took Sumatran seeds and grew them down in San Andreas, and it's creating a flavor that I guarantee you've never had before. It's so unique, and it's just it's mind blowing. It's so good.
That it's, yeah. I mean, this is an absolutely amazing cigar. So let me ask you a question, Chris. We've been talking about my cigars. We've been talking about the humidors. Tell me, at Wilde Cigar, you know, in Burleson, Texas, my birthplace.
Yes, and my home since 1986.
Tell me what your goal was when you decided to build this beautiful lounge. I mean, not only is the humidor well apportioned and it's got great products that you guys hand select, but the lounge itself is so inviting. What was your goal there when you came up with this?
When I, so I've been hanging out in cigar shops since I turned 18.
That's where we met.
Uh-huh.
Was that another cigar
At
shop?
another cigar shop, We met at Michael's a long time ago. Great cigar shop.
Michael's and Euless?
Yes, Michael's and Euless. And
They are great people.
And
Is that where you and I went?
Yeah, you and I had a cigar there a while back.
that was my home for a long time. But
First time we shared a cigar was there.
Right.
yeah, absolutely. So when I was 18, I went out and bought my first cigar. No one ever told me to. I didn't grow up around them. There was something innate in me that wanted to try them. And I went out and bought a terrible cigar. I won't mention the brand, but I'm sure it's obvious to most people. It rhymes with Fisher. But
Was it sweet?
it was very sweet. But for whatever reason, and I still tell people this today with sweet cigars and with flavored cigars, is if you need the other flavor to get you into it, that's fine. But if you taste something else in there that's appealing to you, that's probably the tobacco. And I tasted that, and I got into it. And then by my sophomore year of college, I was at Hardin-Simmons University in Abilene, and we had a great local shop. It's still in Abilene, called The Leaf. And all three colleges used to always hang out there. And the thing I really fell in love with about cigar shops was the community. To me, the cigar shop is one of the last great small D democratic spaces where everyone has access. Status doesn't matter, socioeconomic doesn't matter, race, gender, creed, doesn't matter. We share this in common. We share a passion for this craft product, and it breaks down a lot of barriers, and you build relationships that you never would have otherwise. And that was what connected me very early on. And the owner of The Leaf back then, Bill, he and I became friends. And I immediately started asking him, what does it take to start a cigar shop? So I've had this kernel in me since my early 20s. And then just since then, it's always kind of been there. I've come close a couple times, but I've spent so much of my time in cigar shops and cigar bars. I've briefly worked in one as well. And over those years, I took notes, mental notes of what did I think worked, what did I think didn't work, and just kind of building my vision for the perfect cigar shop. But at the same time, there's very practical things we're doing here. You know, being in cigars and tobacco in general, we're constantly fighting prohibition, legislation, regulation, and then just general distaste among some of the public. And so what we've done here that I think is different than a lot of shops is, first of all, it's a large place. It's about 4,900 square feet under roof and a 600 square foot under roof patio.
It is so comfortable. I wouldn't have imagined it's so large, because when you think of, you know, it's, you know, homeliness.
One of the things we tried to do with such a big space, because it is bigger than we had planned on, is first of all, and so lots of natural light during the day. We have a slope ceiling in the main lounge with clerestory windows. It's bright, it's open. We've invested an enormous amount of money into the HVAC and filtration system. 23 tons of air, 9 smoke heaters. We can clean the air in here every 5 minutes. And that's got a very practical reason. That's because we want people to feel like this is an accessible place. And even if you're not into cigars, we want you to be able to hang out. And that was our thinking behind the bar as well. The bar, we have a full craft cocktail menu, mostly developed by our bar manager, Kim Jackson. A lot of people in the cigar world know her as K. Jack Art, great cigar band artist.
Oh my gosh, incredible artwork.
Yeah,
incredible.
And also a brilliant, she takes that artistic eye to the cocktails, and we have phenomenal cocktails. We have a great whiskey and liquor selection. We have a wine selection. We have multiple wines, unlike a lot of shops. You know, we have a lot of craft beers. And we also offer a charcuterie board, and we actually really invest in that. And we buy from small producers, and really, it's all for us. It's about emphasizing palate and taste, because that's what cigars are about. And if we can help demystify that to people, we can increase the acceptance of the product. We can increase the use of the product, you know, without having to, resort to anything empty or hollow or fake or shallow. And we're genuinely saying, hey, don't compare this to cigarettes or dip. Compare this to a fine whiskey or a fine wine. The same principle. And then like you said, as far as the layout, we had this large space and we wanted large lounges, but we also arranged it in a way that there are nooks and crannies. So if you want kind of a quieter, more private space, there are some of those spaces around here. But if you want to be out in the crowd, we've also got a big lounge. So it's a very dynamic space with, because of the size of it, we were able to divide it up in a way that there are multiple different areas to hang out in. Some are large, some are small, and it helps everyone find the place they're comfortable and find a place that makes them feel at home here, because we're all about, ultimately, we're about community, we're about palate, but we're also about community here and building community, because that's what strengthens our industry, is building that community. And that's what we tried to bring here.
Absolutely.
So you guys at Casa 1910, you've talked to me about the fact that you're trying to rebuild the cigar culture in Mexico as well, to get away from the perception that Mexican cigars aren't ultra premium like ours are. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing in Mexico City to change that attitude.
So we have opened our own little cigar lounge. It's a space for 15 people in October, and we could only think to partner up with one person, which is Mika Rousseau, one of the most renowned mixologists in the country, which his previous project was the first one who entered the 50 best bars of the world list from Mexico. And his new project right now called Casa Prunes, it's really, or Casa Prun, it's really a mixology concept house where they're trying to push the envelope in terms of mixology, and are partnering up with all sorts of spirits producers and inviting different mixologists of Mexico to participate in this project. And one room is a dedicated Casa 1910 cigar lounge, where we're trying to also host experiences where Manolo does tastings and pairings with the tequilas, but also different spirits, in order to, let's say, educate a little bit the younger public and the younger consumer and smoker that we want to bring onto the brand.
So I'm looking at my Facebook here, and here's one of the questions that has come across on our Facebook Live. So here's what it says. Man, I really love Casa 1910 cigars. I really like this Mexican Sumatra. What's the next release going to be like?
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Manolo has actually spent the past 2 weeks traveling between Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic, sourcing different kinds of tobacco, and I think he's best to explain what is new in store for us.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. And
Manolo, you're on the spot.
Okay, it's a hard work, but it's my work. It's my job, okay? I traveled for Dominican Republic, I traveled for Nicaragua, Condega, Estelí, Jalapa. I love more about the tobacco, you know? But I can't tell the details for the cigars, but a little bit, it's the format. Format, it's a Gordo, 6 for 60. Gran Toro,
Oh my goodness.
6 for 64.
Oh, wow.
And an amazing Torpedo, 6 to 64.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's going to be
And
nice.
a little bit surprise for Mexico. I can tell more detail, but it's the next steps.
Yeah, we're going to release 4 new cigars at the PCA. One is going to be still a Mexican puro, 100% Mexican tobacco, made in Mexico, in a Toro format. And then Gran Toro Torpedo and Agordo with a blend of Mexican and tobaccos from other countries, but we don't want to spill all the beans right now as we're going to
Spoiler!
Spoiler alert.
But we can tell you also a bit on the marketing side in terms of our cigars and the lines we'll be launching. So all of the blends will be called Cavalry Edition. And these 3 individual tobaccos are going to be named after horses of the Mexican Revolution, significant horses of revolutionaries. And we're going to be working together with a local artist. Her name is Ana Segovia. She's a truly unique and talented artist from Mexico, and she's going to sort of design the future boxes to make them a collectible. Because ultimately, and what we see on a daily basis is that all of these beautiful boxes and all of this money invested into the boxes ultimately get thrown out. And what we want to change, and I don't want to sound too ecological, but also thinking of it in terms of sustainability, is that people should collect their boxes. People should leave them on their coffee tables at home and have a story to tell. Because at the end of the day, smoking a cigar is best done between 2 or more people. It's about sharing experiences and stories, and we want to be at the centerpiece of that and really having something standing more behind our brand than just the cigar itself. We want to be the all-round inclusive package and really showing off the Mexican culture and its history.
I have a great idea about where you could display your cigar boxes as well.
You know what's funny is one of the things that always attracted me to the cigar business is, first of all, I love a great cigar. I got into this business because I became a geek, so to speak, with really, really good cigars, and Casa 1910 certainly fits it in there. But the reason why I fell in love with cigars and the smoking of cigars and the cigar industry is because I've been able to make friends that I wouldn't have otherwise met, because we come from different lifestyles, we come from different political affiliations, we come from completely different lifestyle and walks of life, and these people have become my lifelong friends, and it's all because of a cigar. Something as simple as a well-crafted cigar have created lifetime friendships, and I appreciate that you guys recognize that and are trying to create a culture that we can all join together and celebrate our likenesses instead of our differences.
Yes.
And Casa 1910 is a perfect example of that. Let me ask you a question. And I'm reading off of my Facebook because people are asking pictures on Facebook. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, this is funny. I'm sorry.
Asking pictures.
No, okay, I'm sorry. My English has left me, which actually feeds right into, okay, the tequila is kicking in.
Yeah.
So here's what the question is from our viewer on Facebook Live. Hey, aren't you guys from Switzerland? What the hell are you doing in Mexico?
That's a very good question.
It's the same question for you guys.
Well,
I asked myself the same thing.
Well, cheers.
Well, for myself personally, I moved here over 6 years ago as I was studying for a master's in agricultural economics in London at the time. And for the second years of the master's, I had the opportunity to work here in the Ministry of Agriculture in Mexico, and I really fell in love with the country, and I basically haven't left since. And a few years ago, I met these fine gentlemen, and we joined the journey of Casa 1910. As for Jamie, he can tell maybe himself better why he ended up in Mexico.
Yeah, I also ended up here for work initially, and it was in a completely different industry. It was basically synthetic ice, but that's a story for another time and for another live stream. But essentially, what really brings us all together is the love for Mexican culture, and I think it's fair to say that Mexico is a country that is well respected and well recognized all over the world, especially over the past few years with the growth of all the artisanally produced goods such as tequila, the whole avocado hype, Netflix series, you name it. And what we want to portray to the world is, again, as I've mentioned before, what this country has to offer, because it's truly unbelievable. It's such a diverse, beautiful country with amazing, friendly people, and we only want to do the country justice by showing off the different products that come from this country.
Gotcha.
Amen.
That makes a lot of sense. So here's another follow-up question from a different Michael asks. So, hold on, let me translate this. So what was the differentiation from you guys deciding, and I think we've already talked about this, but let's talk about it a little bit more. What was the differentiation from you guys settling on Mexico instead of Nicaragua or Honduras? That's specifically what the guy's asking.
Yeah. Well,
In Mexico, actually in San Andres Valley for Veracruz, we have 3 pillars: the water, the know-how, and the tradition for the tobacco and the cigars. It's amazing.
yeah. I think sort of adding on to that in terms of why Mexico is because, and not Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic, is because we want to do something different. I mean, all of you guys are very familiar with Nicaragua and Dominican tobacco, but how many of you can truly say that you're an avid supporter of a Mexican cigar brand, especially in the premium space, because we all know of the larger brands here that produce more commercially available goods. How many of you guys can really say that A, you stand behind a brand, and B, you support a brand that sort of pays tribute to the quality of tobacco which you can find here in Mexico? And I think the answer to that is not a lot of people. And I think there's a huge opportunity in the market to really position Mexico on the forefront of a new wave of sort of respected cigar producing players.
I mean, think about it this way, right? How many cigars do you know which are award-winning, whether they're from Dominican Republic, Honduras, or Nicaragua, that have actually Mexican tobacco in their blends?
Uh-huh.
In Mexico itself, there's not that many players in the premium space. If that was the case for Nicaragua, where a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco was used in Mexican blends and Dominican blends, and there weren't many players in Nicaragua, everybody would be flocking to Nicaragua to try to make a premium player from Nicaragua. And I think that's where the opportunity lies for us.
So another question that came across was, so you guys are clearly firmly invested in Mexico. What is the significance of Casa 1910? The question specifically is, why did you name your brand Casa 1910?
The answer to that is twofold. The first is more in the history and culture perspective, where 1910 marks the beginning of the Mexican Revolution. We obviously have a huge cultural and historical significance behind the brand, and ultimately that is what we want to be. We want to be a truly authentic Mexican brand, paying tribute to its culture. And the second reason behind why we decided to call it 1910 is more on a marketing perspective, where we've analyzed in the cigar industry that, to the best of my knowledge, there's not a brand that is named after a date. And what we've seen from personal feedback from the industry is that 1910 is highly recognizable. Usually you have Latin-derived names, which are often quite hard to remember, especially for newcomers to the industry that are, that still have a lot to learn. And we feel that 1910 just bridges that gap and makes it that little bit easier for you to memorize the name and to ultimately repeat it.
So, perfect follow-up question that somebody asked, Michael in Fresno wants to know what's the significance specifically of 1910. I know you said Mexican Revolution, but expound on that a little bit.
Well, correct. As Jamie well mentioned, 1910 marks the beginning of the Mexican Revolution. And there's so much cultural and historical significance in Mexico around the revolution. And many revolutionaries were oftentimes pictured smoking cigars. So if you think of Pancho Villa, Zapata, and all the most famous revolutionaries, they were cigar smokers and fought for their people and for their land. And that's something we really want to embody in our brand.
And We also work together with our tribe called Casa, which has the largest inventory of pictures of the Mexican Revolution. And especially in the city center of Mexico, there's pictures of the surrounding stores. And funnily enough, the majority of them were tobacco stores with tobacco from San Andres. But unfortunately, the industry has sort of diminished a little bit. And another interesting sort of fun fact for you guys to know, and part of the reason why we decided to get into the cigar industry in Mexico is actually due to an import regulation. Now, this import regulation prohibited Mexican manufacturers from importing tobacco from other countries around the world to make blends. So essentially, Mexican cigar producers were forced to export the highest quality produce to other countries so they could make blends, but they had to rely on the inferior quality stuff, and they produced millions of cigars under brands such as Te Amo for the US market. But this import regulation has been lifted 6 years ago, and so now it's really just a matter of time, and you've seen it with Casa, for example, where they started blending cigars and they started gaining recognition as a premium player. And we're trying to sort of follow their footsteps and obviously try and excel and put Mexico out there in terms of premium cigar production.
So here's another question that came in. Manolo, when you are blending cigars and you were looking for people to inspire you, who are some of the blenders that inspire you, and who are some of the blenders that you hope to emulate when you are creating cigars for Casa 1910?
Well, it's a hard question for me because in my formation, I have a lot of teachers. I have a lot of giants to follow to me, but I love the job for Mr. Inoa. I love the job for Jose Blanco. I love the job for, well, it's too many names in this time, but well, they in this industry have a lot of names, a lot of giants, a lot of heroes for me, like a Carlito Fuente, like a Lito, like well, the all heroes for me. It's the all brands or the premium ones, Pepin Garcia and others, and like Felix for El Galan. It's an amazing job for blender, and an amazing people for Mexico, maybe to unknown for the whole world. And of course, many blenders for Cuba, for Habanos. It's an amazing, these guys make an amazing job for our cigars, from Dominican Republic, for Mexico, for Nicaragua, Honduras, like Oscar Valladares and other heroes for me. You know, it's all the teachers. For Cuba, I need to say Fernando Fernandez, I need to say Juan Jesus Machin. It's an amazing people, amazing teachers for me, and I need to go for the steps for my heroes. You know, a lot of people.
Here's another question. This is from Stephen in Killeen, Texas. Killeen, Texas is south of here. It is the home of one of the largest Army bases in the world. And this is a weird question, but I hope you can answer it. Pardon me for this, because I grew up here. Where the hell is Burleson, Texas, and why do I want to come to your cigar shop?
You'd be unsurprised to find out I get that question a lot, even from people here in the DFW Metroplex. It's kind of funny, and I think you would know this, Scott, that despite being just on the south border of Fort Worth, which itself is the 13th largest city in the country, Burleson's always kind of been kind of a hidden suburb. People within the DFW Metroplex itself don't really know Burleson. And until recently, it was still kind of a sleepy bedroom community, and I know that because I spent most of my life here as well.
Isn't this the home of Kelly Clarkson?
It is indeed the home of the great and wonderful Kelly Clarkson.
Did you go to school with her?
I did go to school with her.
Did you know her?
Yes, we did choir and show choir together.
Choir, imagine that with Kelly Clarkson.
No, we did musical theaters, and anyway, besides...
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to drag on her coattails. I apologize.
Besides, yeah, she is not a big fan of tobacco. She used to yell at my dad. But despite being the home of Kelly Clarkson and the home of the great Stacy Sikora, the greatest women's volleyball player of all time.
What an amazing athlete she is.
The greatest volleyball player of all time. We're not very well known, but what's happened in the last few years is that Burleson has finally caught the bug of we're going to embrace the growth. And it's gone from being a bedroom community to being a burgeoning suburb full of its own businesses, its own restaurants, its own bars, its own nightlife. And so when I moved back here a few years ago, it had changed so much that I thought, well, there was no shop really that close, and it seemed right for something like this. And then outside of that, we are literally, just on the south border of Fort Worth, one of the largest cities in the country.
Right.
We're 15 minutes to downtown Fort Worth, so it's very convenient. Burleson straddles two highways, a state highway and Interstate 35. So it's easy to get to from multiple locations. We ourselves are just off 35, about a mile on Hidden Creek Parkway. So it's actually, we have found, as people learn about the business, we've got people coming from all over the Metroplex. We've got people coming not just from Johnson County and southern Tarrant County, but from Fort Worth, Arlington, Mid-Cities, Irving. We have people that come from Cedar Hill. So why Burleson is, one, there was no shop. Two, the population was booming. And important for a cigar shop, and especially an upscale one, is that the booming population was at a increasing income level. A lot of the new houses being built are in the 4s and 5s and 6s and up, and it was a hole in the market, and it just seemed like the right time, and it's still convenient to the rest of the Metroplex, which is the Metroplex itself is the third largest metropolitan area in the United States.
One thing that I found about Wilde that I actually love, and it makes it unique to a lot of shops in Texas, is most shops in Texas don't have a full service, fully appropriated, high-end bar. And that's something really unique in the cigar world. You've got a lot of places that you can buy cigars at, and there's some great shops that have some great cigars. But I can come here when I'm off duty, and I can have a Casa 1910 cigar. But you have a mixologist here, Kim Jackson.
Yes.
They have probably one of the best selections of liquor of any bar in this area. And it's not a bar location. It's not some place that you go and you deal with people that are drunk on their tequila shots, because this isn't a tequila shot for sure. But it's a place that I can hang out and I can have an incredible drink. I can have a mixed old-fashioned that's not an old-fashioned like you read in the book. Kim Jackson is probably one of the best mixologists I've ever met. Plus, her artwork is incredible.
Yeah.
If you guys ever come up to Wilde Cigars, make a point to ask Kim a little bit about her artwork. She should be more forward in promoting it, but she does some cigar band art that is absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
She's the original and still the best. There are several copycats now. She's the original and the best. And as far as the mixology, I mentioned it earlier. And I'm not kidding. I would put our cocktail menu up against anyone in town.
Don't you guys make your own vermouth?
We make our own sweet vermouth.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And I would put that up against just about any sweet vermouth you can bring us, because we taste tested it against several top vermouths.
So if there's any drink that you like that has vermouth, I've had some of them. Okay, I've had a lot of them, but that's a different story for a different day. These drinks that they make here will stand up against anything you'll find in any metropolitan area. And a little town called Burleson has some of the best mixologists in the entire planet. So let me ask you a question. I'm going to change gears a little bit here. Richard.
Yes, sir.
You know, one of the things that has happened in our industry, and it's similar to a lot of industries, is that humidors and accessories and things like that, everything's getting imported from China. Right? And so, you know, and we've all heard the news of the boats that are sitting off the docks in California, and they're waiting for their Chinese products to show up so that we can buy them at a discount. My understanding is you guys aren't buying anything from China. This is a USA product, and you're supporting USA workers, more importantly, Texas workers. In a little town of Nacogdoches, Texas. What the hell? Nacogdoches, Texas.
Yeah,
What put that on the map?
We started building this product in 1967, so we've been in business for, I guess, over for 54 years now.
54 years.
Right, and you know, the first motor coach was built in Mr. Ford's backyard. It's a high school project for his son. But you know, ever since then, you know, some of the products that we source may indirectly come from China. I don't want to lead you down the wrong road there, as a component of what we produce.
Gotcha.
But, you know, speaking to this humidor, I can't think of any component of this particular item that is not built by us. You know, the aluminum that goes into the framework, all the wood that is in it is all domestic. Yeah, so 100% American product, nothing sourced.
So this is built in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Yes, sir.
It's not being built in some third world country and then you put your name on it.
Absolutely not.
Is it customizable?
Yes, sir, it is. We have currently 3 different size designs that we developed. We've only got 4 humidors out there currently.
That's custom, baby.
Yeah. Each has a different paint scheme, and I think that's the most customizable component of it. You know, my hope is that some of the purchasers of our motor coaches may be interested in having a humidor in their house that has the same paint scheme as their coach.
So if I own a Foretravel motor coach and I say, and I contact Chris and I say, hey, I've got a Foretravel motor coach. I want my humidor to match.
Yes.
How much work, how much research do you have to do to make that match?
Very little. If we knew the number of their coach off of our manufacturing line, we keep all the pertinent records and could duplicate that paint scheme. You know, just based on the history.
So if I own a Foretravel motor coach, I can tell you my unit number.
Yeah.
Based on when you built it just for me, because Foretravel motor coaches are customizable as well, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I give you my number and you create that motor coach, you create that custom humidor to match my motor coach.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
We use the same automotive paint that we use on these motor coaches, the same finish. Everything is exactly like the paint that we use on the coach.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand this. If I buy one of these humidors, regardless of whether I own a motor coach, the paint scheme on it is designed so that it's going to be virtually impervious to weather?
Absolutely. And even the humidor itself, you could set this unit on your back deck in the wintertime here in Texas, because your temperatures will get a little bit too high for.
Well, you know what they say, if you don't like the weather in Texas, wait a minute.
That's right. Give it a day. So yeah, they're weatherproof, they're rainproof. they're built on the same design platform as a recreational vehicle.
Oh my goodness.
The larger unit that we have actually has an RV door on it, so it's an exterior door.
Does it seal like it's supposed to? Because you know humidors, they need to be sealed properly because too much air, the cigars get dry, life sucks.
Yeah, right. So we have a sealable door that you would have on a regular RV. So it's an exterior door on it, so it's completely watertight and airtight. So I calculate we have about a 1% per day air exchange in these.
Well, we need a
humidors.
little bit of air exchange, so
Right.
that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we're still developing the product. Would love to get some feedback. If anybody has an idea of what they would like to see built in a humidor, you know, we're all ears.
So here's a question. Okay, matter of fact, here's a question on Facebook.
Okay.
So one of the people here is asking that they and I'm not going to specify the college but if they want a humidor in their college colors that they graduated from, that they're donating money every year, can you design a humidor?
Yes, short of using the actual collegiate logo, unless they maybe acquire permission to use that, but we can replicate most any design. We have an extremely qualified paint staff, and you can see from some of the coaches that we have going down the road, paint schemes get extreme. Paint scheme on our current coach is between $35,000 and $40,000 to paint one of these coaches. So we're taking that same process and applying it to these humidors. So if you've got a look that you'd like to see on your humidor, we certainly try to replicate that for you. We had a gentleman come to us last night asking about a wooden exterior because this house has, you know, it's all mahogany. And
Oh, wow.
He said, "No, this won't work for me." I said, "Well, we can do this. You know, it's a lamination project that we go through. If you want wood on the exterior of your humidor, we can make it out of babinga or mahogany or anything that you can purchase in an exotic wood supply company or hardwood lumber supply company. We can do that."
So normally when I hear the word laminate, I think about the cheap laminate floors that you buy at Home Depot.
Sure.
That's not this.
No, we have a lamination process. The way we build the sidewalls of our motor coaches is we use an aluminum frame. Actually, on the motor coaches, it's a steel frame, but the lamination process is the same. So we'll take a sheet of the Spanish cedar, apply a layer of glue, apply an aluminum frame to that, and then on the exterior of that frame, apply a 1/4 inch fiberglass panel.
Oh,
Just
wow.
same way we build our motor coaches. And then we put them through the machine that vacuums our panels together for us, and it puts about 7 pounds a square inch in a vacuum environment, so the glue adheres completely and thoroughly to our sidewalls, same sidewalls we use on these humidors. And from there we start and develop the product, the finished product, by inserting these sidewalls into our aluminum extrusion, and so it's you come out with almost a 2-inch thick wall for your humidor product with aluminum frame, so it's extremely lightweight and you know, waterproof. After we apply our paint coatings to it, you get the designs that you're looking for. And you know, it's the same process we use on our motor coaches.
That's pretty
It's
awesome.
incorporated into the humidor.
And one of the few places that you can actually custom order your humidors is here at Wilde Cigars.
Yes, sir. Cindy Richardson is our merchandising specialist, and you can get in touch with Cindy at her, I guess, I don't know if I want to give out her phone number on the World Wide Web, but yes, and she can sit with you and design this humidor for you, and she will relay that to Foretravel, and we'll get it built.
So here's a shameless plug for product. So to get yourself your custom built Foremidor built by Foretravel, please contact the folks here at Wilde Cigars. They'll help you get set up, and you
We'll
can come
get
see
you
the
in
product,
contact, and
and we'll get that designed
you
for
can
you.
flex on all your friends.
You can flex in front of all your
'Cause
friends.
it does not get better than this humidor.
Absolutely, it is absolutely a stunning product, and to be able to partner with you guys is pretty freaking awesome.
And we'll have our number 4, our number 3 humidor here. It's one of our larger units, and it will be on display here at Wilde, and they'll use it for displaying their product for the foreseeable future. So come on by and take a look and see if you're interested.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like, I got a couple of more questions for you. Let me see. Let me thumb through this Facebook. I said okay. I'm sorry, I have to ask this question. Chris, where did you get that hat, and where can I get it in a man size?
In a man size, it's a very large hat, so that's an extra large. This is from Gorin Brothers.
Okay.
Gorin Brothers is an old school hat maker, originally from San Francisco, but now they're national. They got stores in many major cities. That's GOORIN.com, Gorin.com. They are great hatters. It's one step below getting your own custom hat made, because they're super high quality. I bought this one actually when I was touring a show in Hollywood a few years ago. Yeah, they're an outstanding brand.
Well, what made me choose that question when I was looking is, don't you guys have some really unique apparel that you guys have here?
Absolutely. We have a partnership with Lombardo Custom Apparel out of Dallas. People would know Lombardo as
I've heard that name.
Tailor clothier to the stars, as far as Dallas is concerned, but also national and international. He's particularly noted for clothing a lot of athletes in Dallas over the years. And so when we decided we wanted to do a nice smoking jacket, which of course I didn't wear tonight, but one of our other partners, Jim, and I decided, well, if anyone knows how to fit guys like us, because I am a rotund man, it would be this guy who's
Well, I'm svelte.
yeah, it would be this guy. This guy has made suits for Tyron Smith, so he should know how to make suits for us. And so we cold called him one day thinking he might laugh us out of the room. But Jay Lombardo embraced it immediately, and ever since then we've had an outstanding partnership. I was actually doing a mobile event, which we are available for mobile events, wildcigars.com. I was doing one for him last night. They were doing a wine tasting at their shop, and we have a full partnership going on. So here in the lounge, on display now, we actually have what's kind of our winter model of the smoking jacket. Your classic velvet robe style smoking jacket. It's really nice. It's all custom. It's from the same outfit that used to make Hefner's. We have another silk one that
Hugh
we wear.
Hefner?
Yes.
Oh.
We have another silk one that we wear in the warmer months. And then Jay and I were actually just talking last night. We're going to do a signature Wilde shirt. He is working on a Guayabera, and in future, the plan is to have an entire Wilde line within the Lombardo apparel family. So kind of like he does Dak's ties, which is Dak Prescott's bow tie brand.
Right.
We will have an entire Wilde line under Lombardo Custom Apparel, and that will be another thing that you can only get here.
Which brings up my next question. I know we don't have stuff available in the United States right now. What is the long-term plan for Casa 1910 to not just provide cigars, but to provide lifestyle accessories? I know you guys have some stuff in the works. Are you okay with telling us a little bit about what you have planned for the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So as of now, we really don't have a whole lot of products, but all the products which we have launched are truly unbelievable. And one of them, of course, you're wearing, which highly complements your figure, Scott. It's a full
Hey,
linen
round
shirt
is a
with-
shape.
which is a full linen shirt, which fits 3 cigars inside. Truly comfortable. You can wear it in the summer, as well in the winter over a t-shirt or a sweater or whatever you want. And then aside from that, we focus as of now on ashtrays. So we're working together with one of the oldest Talavera ashtray producers called Uriarte, which you'll see right here. Manolo's holding it up. We have 4 different shapes. 2 of them are...
Can you walk
rectangular
that towards the
square.
camera so we can see a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Let me get the camera to us.
It's backing the camera up.
Yeah, and so as these, there you go. So these are all handmade, hand painted. Takes an awful lot of sort of skilled labor in order to do these. We have 4 different types, and as of now, we're only selling in Mexico. However, depends a bit on the demand of the US and of course in the stores which are willing to carry your products. We want to keep it exclusive Mexico, but of course with a collaboration like you guys and with the ultimate goal being that the consumer goes into the cigar lounge, they smoke a Casa 1910, they get a beautiful, unbelievably efficient humidor, and on top of that some accessories, and you pair it all off with a tequila. I think that makes for a pretty all-round experience. So again, if you guys are interested in carrying your product, we'll be able to get those shipped over to you guys and hopefully land in the end consumer's hand.
So, considering everything that's happening in the world today, these are not ashtrays that are made out of melamine that are produced in China, brought in on a boat. These are high quality ceramic products, am I right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
It's actually the 6th oldest company that's still operating in Mexico, and it takes months to do these because they dry them naturally with the air, and every single ashtray is hand painted, and the tradition of the ceramic is hundreds of years old in Mexico.
So this is a ceramic ashtray that's hand painted. It is
Talavera
not,
ashtray.
Say again?
It's called, Mexican ceramic is called Talavera.
Wow. Okay. And so these aren't just ashtrays. These are works of art that when people put these on their coffee table or their side table, this is a conversation piece.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like all of our products, we aim to make it a collectible and something that even if you're a non-smoker, you have it laying around the house because it's truly a piece of art. And also now leading up to the spring or summertime, we will be releasing a limited edition series of backgammon sets for all of the gamblers out there.
Did you say backgammon?
Backgammon, correct.
Oh my goodness. That's
All of them
awesome.
will also be
So
handmade.
you're going to become a backgammon
Art
gambling den.
I love backgammon, so that's perfect.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I played backgammon a lot growing up.
Foretravel.com.
I get
Foretravel.com.
my
Yes.
plug into
For backgammon, for all your backgammon needs.
Which you can store in your new Foretravel Foremidor
yeah.
humidor.
That sounds good.
But if you want to get more information on the humidors that we're selling,
Yeah,
or Foretravel motor coaches, you can visit us at foretravel.com. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Well, no, I appreciate that a lot.
As we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to get our plug in too. WildeCigars.com, that's WILDE, like Oscar or Olivia. And come see us, come visit us. We're actually taking this in the Wilde Studio, which is a room within our shop that is specifically set up for video, for podcasting, and it is rentable. If you have something you want to do, we have several plans. You can go to our website and see. And Nathan is over here running here in the background. It's like a full professional setup with with a multi-monitor system and everything. It's very high quality. So I want to give a shout out to him and to this room, and then just to the shop in general. Come see us, and then I'll leave it to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one thing that I can say for sure about Wilde Cigars in Burleson, Texas, they don't have every single cigar that is on the market, but every cigar that they have is a cigar that you want to smoke. And Casa 1910 is proud to have Wilde as our business partner and our distribution partner, because they are not a cigar shop that sits behind the counter and can't tell you anything about what they do. If you come into Wilde, they're going to tell you about the cigars and help you pick out the cigar, whether it's our cigar which I hope you smoke every Casa 1910 cigar we ever come out with. Regardless of that, they're going to find you the cigar that is right for your palate, and they are going to help you make sure that your cigar smoking experience is top level. And the mixology that they have here with Kim and her team, oh my gosh, it's incredible. And the fact that, I'm going to turn this over to Richard here in a second, but the fact that they've chosen to partner with Wilde means a lot to me, because I'll be frank with you, there's almost 100 shops in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and Burleson is part of that. And Wilde Cigars is the store that they choose to partner with. And Richard, I am proud to be a part of that as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Scott. Thank you very much. Yeah, we hope to see you out here. Take a look at cigars, merchandise, have a drink, check out the humidor, give us a call, contact us, let us know what we can do for you.
One more thing, and I'm going to mention this because Casa 1910 is our valued cigar partner here in this podcast today. One of the things that Wilde is going to have that most other cigar shops in the Metroplex have is they're going to have first access to all of our new releases. What we agreed to when we started this venture is that the cigar shops and the cigar companies that decided to bring us in with our initial release, those are going to be the guys that get access to our new releases as they come out. So every time Casa 1910 comes out with something new, thanks to Manolo and his blending expertise, Casa 1910 is going to be the place to get it. Do you guys have anything to add at Casa down there in Mexico?
No, we just wanted to thank you guys for the opportunity. As you well said, keep your eyes and ears open for new product releases, because I just smoked one myself.
You smoked one of the new ones?
Wasn't supposed to say it, but yes, I have.
Okay, you and I have a problem now because I haven't smoked it yet. I'm joking. I know that I don't get to be the first guy, but at least I get to be one of the guys, and I appreciate it.
And I look forward to coming down to hang out with you guys in Mexico City sometime.
Definitely.
For any
We're
of you.
waiting out here south of the border for all of you guys to come down and check out our cigar lounge in Mexico City. Have a good cigar, a tequila, or any other spirit you may like. And Manolo will be here to tell you all about it.
Sure. Feel free to reach out to us on our Instagram, which is Casa1910MX, or through our website, Casa1910.com.
Yeah, everyone go follow them on Instagram. They have one
so
of the
let's
best
say that
Instagram
again.
pages. They have one of the best Instagram pages of all the brands.
Well, let's say it again, because I'll tell you, you guys watching and you guys that asked the question on our Facebook Live, the best thing that you can do right now is follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. So Casa 1910, tell us
The
one
second
more
best thing
time
you
where
can
we
do.
can follow us.
The best thing you can do is smoke one of our cigars.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's true. Mea culpa. But where do we follow you on Instagram? Say it twice for me, and say it slow because your Swedish accent.
Swedish.
I said
Casa
Swedish, I'm joking.
1910.
He's cut off.
I'll say it one more time. And if you want, you can sing it after me, Scott. It's Casa1910MX.
Casa 1910 MX on Instagram.
Bravo!
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So where do we follow Wilde Cigars?
Wilde Cigars, at Wilde Cigars, WILDECIGARS, on Instagram and on Facebook. And go to our website, wildcigars.com.
Okay, and I'm Stogius Maximus. You can follow me on Facebook at Stogius-Maximus or Stogius Maximus on Instagram. So one more we have here is Richard.
Yes, Cindy at East Texas Cigars.
EastTexasCigars.com specifically.
Yes, on Facebook, same tag. You can reach us at Foretravel.com. It's F-O-R-E travel. We also have a space on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So, yeah, all kind of opportunities.
Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I really
Thanks, guys.
feel
Really appreciate you.
I'm honored to be a part of your podcast, Casa 1910. Thank you so much for joining us from Mexico City. You know, it's 30 degrees here. I'm just curious, what's the temperature there?
It's around, well, we're talking Celsius here, but 25 degrees, whatever that is in Fahrenheit.
No,
35 degrees, so it's about
72.
75.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's a
I
nice
hate
day.
you. I hate you very much. Texas is not supposed to be cold. So thank you for letting us know that. We really appreciate you joining us tonight. The
Thank you guys so much for having
Casa
us.
1910 is a cigar that everybody should try anytime they have an opportunity. Tons of flavor, very unique, and it's something that should be in everybody's humidor. Wilde Cigars is a place that you should visit anytime that you're in the DFW Metroplex. Just a 10-minute drive from downtown Fort Worth. They have Casa 1910 cigars and a full selection of any other cigar that you may want to have. And they are the exclusive Johnson County dealer for the Foretravel Foremidor, which is completely customizable to fit all of your cigar storage needs. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. And from all of us to all of you, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
good night.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Enjoy your weekend.
Good night.